Lovely stuff. So join me on your mats. Make sure you guys can see me back here. Actually, I'm going to get you guys to start standing up. I'm just going to do 30 seconds of arm circles, focusing on one arm first. And I'm going to ask you just to be mindful of your rib cage. So you can use one hand to tuck those ribs down. So think of a nice little hollow position here. And then with the opposite hand, making as big a circle as you can, but keeping minimal movement in the torso. And as you circle that arm, I want you to think about reaching away from your shoulder as much as you can. So big shrug at the top. 30 seconds is on. Lovely. As you come through the top, guys, your shoulder should be brushing past your ear. So you're really reaching up. Nice, slow and controlled. Keep going for 5 more seconds. Build some heat in that shoulder. Okay, and stick in that arm, guys, just change direction. So you're going to come forwards this time. Reaching back as much as you can, but just working within your range. So Comfort, you see how your arm is out to the side? I want your arm to be brushing past your ear at the top. Good, everybody can do that. Can already feel the heat. Lovely, guys. And rest for me, that's 30 seconds. So we'll go 30 on the other side. So again, little reminder with that hand, keep those ribs down so you're not overarching. Reach down to the ground with your fingers, forward, all the way up, shoulder to ear, and back. 30 seconds. Nice, slow and controlled circles. Very nice. And switch direction. So coming forward. Lovely. Imagine someone has your wrist and they're pulling it away from your shoulder. So you really want to extend and reach that arm. 10 seconds here. Very nice, everyone. And shake it out. So I'm going to do some standing swimmers. I'll show you from the side and the back. I'm going to take my hands to my lower back, lift them away from my back like so, and pull my elbows back as far as I can. From here, I'll draw my arms out, up to T position, rotate those hands, reach to the sky, and bring my hands down my back. Then reach back up, all the way out to the side, rotate my palms backwards, and bring my hands back up my back as far as I can. Always pulling my elbows and my hands away from my back. All right, so we're going to do this, guys, for 60 seconds, starting now. Lovely. And again, if you can keep the rib cage down as much as you can, focus on pulling that elbow back and keeping the hand away from your low back. This will really create lots of heat in those shoulders. Very nice. Hopefully you guys can feel the shoulders doing some work here. Yeah. You don't have to do much to get them turned on. So a little bit slower than that, Susanna. So you can really focus on coming all the way to the side, turning the hands, reaching up and bringing them down. And then again, start by reaching up, always extending. Imagine someone stretching your arms, pulling them away from your shoulders. Lovely, guys, and that's our 60 seconds. All right, we're going to come down to our wrists next. So pop onto your mat for me, onto your hands and knees. And we're going to start with 30 seconds of our first knuckle push-up. So I think you guys know this one. On my hands and knees, I want my fingers spread, not excessively, just comfortably spread. And you're going to focus on pressing the pads of your fingers into the ground and bending your middle knuckle. So if I show you guys what that looks like here. So rather than just a flat hand, I'm going to press the pads in, and you can see my middle knuckle is bent. And then the first knuckle push up, we're going to lift and come back down again. Okay, but you want to try and grip the ground with your fingers. So it'll look like so, pushing up and slowly coming back down to the ground again. All right, so we're stretching into the palm of that hand, all your ligaments and tendons. So we're going to go now for 30 seconds. Some people are very tight here. Some people have good flexibility. Lovely, Sinead. And if it feels easy, you can make it a little bit more challenging by leaning more weight onto those hands. Lovely, 15 more seconds. Very nice, guys. Controlling it back to the ground. And rest for me. Just sit back, shake it out. We're doing the same thing again, but this time we're going to turn our fingers out to the side. So we're going to take them from forward to the side. And the very same thing here, pressing up and down. If you find this hard, if you move your hands wider, it'll be a little bit easier. But ideally, you want them under your shoulders. Okay, so again, off we go, 30 seconds. Lovely, Susanna. If you're not sure if you're doing it right, guys, if you can have your hands on screen, it'll help me to see what you're doing. Another 5 seconds here. Very nice. Sit back, shake it out again. And we're going to do that one more time, but we're going to turn our fingers all the way back to our knees this time. This might be a little bit more difficult. You can lean forward to make it a bit easier, or lean back as much as you can. All right, but very same thing, pressing down through the first knuckle, lifting the heel of your palm as high as you can, and lowering it back to the ground. Off we go. Very nice. And even if you're just getting a couple of centimeters, that's absolutely fine. You're still working all those ligaments and tendons in the hand. And it's going to prepare those wrists for spending time on your hands. Very nice, guys. So lift that palm as high as you can, Sinead, really good. Lovely, guys, and shake it out. Super work. So this is working strength and mobility in our wrists. The next one is going to be a palm lift off. So I'll show you here first. I'm going to place my hands in front. And the idea here is that I'm going to lift my entire palm, except the heel of my palm, off the ground and bring it back down again. It's a very small movement. If you find it hard, you can sit back, and you can see here I can lift my hands that bit more off the ground. You're going to feel the front of your forearm working. But what I want you to do is keep those elbows straight. If you bend the elbows, it's going to take away from that movement. So lock out the elbows and push the front of your elbow pit forward, and you're going to lift those palms off the ground. It's a very small movement here, and you're going to feel that forearm working. So off we go for 30 seconds. Nice, guys. So it's the opposite way this time, Comfort. What you're doing here is, with the hands straight, lifting this way. And it's a very small movement, as you can see. But even in that movement, my forearm, I can feel all my tendons and ligaments here really working. 10 more seconds. Very nice, guys. It's going to strengthen up that forearm and wrists. And relax. So we're going to do that 2 more times. Just like the last one, we're going to turn our hands to the side and then turn our hands backwards. So from here, take your fingers out to the side. And again, if you want to make this easier, you can go a little bit wider and even sit back on your heels. And again, that makes it easier. All right, so off we go for 30 seconds. Or you can do one at a time and kind of lean into this one. Quite challenging. Once you can feel those forearms working, I'm happy. So try to lift the palm of your hand off the ground, just keeping the heel in contact. Think about pulling your fingers up to your forearm. 10 more seconds. Pull those hands off the ground. Good, guys, shake it out for me. Even if you want to pull that hand down to stretch the forearm. And I'm just going to show you, we have one more. So we're taking the hands back this time. You might need to step forward with the knee here and lean forward. And you're going to lift those hands. If you can see, my hands are lifting off the ground. But the more forward you lean, the easier it'll be. So take one knee, step it in between your hands, lean forward, and then we're going for that lift off again for 30 seconds. Palms are down, Donal, or is that T? So palms are on the ground, the other way. There you go. Lean forward. And again, guys, just trying to pull, if you can look at me here, pulling, using your muscles there to lift that hand off the ground. You'll feel all those muscles working. That's all our wrist strength work done for today, guys. Keep going. We're going to stretch them out after this. Lovely, guys. And shake it out. Really good strength work, guys. You can think of them as like back squats for your wrists.
Is it weird that the top of my hand like pulls there with all those?
Yeah, so like when I do that, I can really feel cramping.
Yeah.
On the top of my hand. Yeah, it's just because we rarely work those muscles as well. But when we do handstands, they're the muscles that we really need to work to help our endurance and help our balance. That's going to help you in a handstand later on. Okay, but yeah, no, that burning kind of sensation, Jackie, or cramping almost is what you could be feeling. All right, guys, so just stay on your hands and knees for me. We're just going to stretch it out. So place the hands on the ground, shoulder width apart. You're just going to lean forward for me as far as you can, pressing the pads of your fingers down. We're just going to hold here in a nice stretch for 30 seconds. Nice deep breath. Think of gripping the floor with the tops of your fingers. So you might see that middle knuckle bend. Some nice deep breaths here. Just lean into the stretch. Lovely, guys. You're going to turn those fingers back towards your knees. We're going to lean backwards this time, stretching the back of our forearm. So palms are down to the ground here again, T. We'll do that one next. Yeah, and lean back for me. Lovely. And then I'm going to flip my palms up to the sky. So just lifting them up, flipping them over. Hands are still, our fingers still facing my knees. And again, lean back here just to get a nice stretch in the front of that forearm where we did all that strength work. You can even rock side to side here so that feels good. Lovely, guys. Keep going, keep holding it. And rest for me. All right, I'm going to demo our next move and we're getting into our first drill here. So we're going to do some plank walk-ups, which is going to help us with our shoulder strength in a handstand. If you are very tight in your hamstrings, I've been creative here. I've grabbed two fire logs from outside, but if you have two yoga blocks or even two dumbbell weights, just anything to raise your hands off the floor, that will assist you to get into a better position. So I'll show you without these, and then I'll show you with them. So I'm starting in my plank position. And then coming into a really active upper body position here. So I'm going to push the ground away. Think of gripping the ground with my fingers. And I'm going to tiptoe up on the balls of my feet as high as I can, getting my feet towards my hands, pushing the ground away. So I'm in a big shrug. And I'm going to walk it back to plank. So nice and slow once again. Big press away from the ground, shrugging my shoulders as high as I can, and back to my plank. So again, if you raise those hands, it'll just really help you to walk those feet. You can see I can get them much closer. I'm doing everything the very same. It'll just let me get into a better pike position. Whew, that's 3 and I'm wrecked. So guys, get yourself set up. Even a low bench or chair would work here. Anything to raise the hands a little bit if you're tight in the hamstrings. And guys, we'll all start together. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. And if you just have a quick look at me, the most important part of this is as I walk up, I'm really pushing up through my shoulders. I'm doing a huge shrug here. So we're not creating all that space. I want you to close it off. All right?
Yeah, which side of the dumbbell should you hold? As in, should you hold it this way? Like, do you line the dumbbell horizontal or vertical? So how do you?
If it feels very wobbly when they're standing up, then maybe place them down and put your hands actually on the head of the dumbbell.
Right, okay.
Which will give you a little bit more height. But if it feels stable standing up, you can do it that way as well. All right, guys, so when we're ready, we're going to do this for 30 seconds. You might get 3 to 4 reps. Take your time. Remember, quality over quantity. And I'm looking for that big shrug as you walk your hands towards your feet towards your hands, and just go as far as you can. Off we go. Lovely, Sinead. So focus on pressing up through those shoulders, trying to shrug your arms to your ears as much as you can. On the balls of your feet, Jackie, if you can, to come up onto your tippy toes. Lovely, guys. You've time for one more big press away. Lovely, and relax. So you can see 30 seconds of that is quite tough. All right, next one, we're going to lie down on our belly. We will come back to this. We're going to do it one more time in a moment. So we're starting on our belly, and all I'm doing is an arm lift here, guys, while I have everything else on the floor. So my chest, my forehead is going to be on the ground. I want good tension in your body, so do squeeze your quads, squeeze your glutes, nice tight body. Hands are out in front, and you're going to reach and lift them as high as you can. Even if you can't lift them at all, you're still going to be getting that same shoulder activity that I want. So I'll give you a quick demonstration here. So I'm going to reach and lift and back down. Reach, lift and back down. Reach, lift and back down. So you can see I'm only getting about an inch, maybe 2 inches of a lift. Important that you keep your chest and forehead on the ground. And before you lift, reach, which is going to bring you into that shrug, lift and down again. So we're going to go for 30 seconds, guys. We'll all start together in 3, 2, 1. Reach, lift and down. Good. It's important that you reach, guys, so you're getting that big shrug in the shoulder. Think of it as a nice controlled movement. And that's really good, guys. Some people struggle to get any lift at all. Excellent, T. You're getting it though. You're still getting some air between those hands and the ground. 5 seconds, guys. And relax. Really nice. So again, we'll come back to that one. Now this next one is a bit of fun. We haven't done it before. It's called a crow pose if anyone has done it in yoga, but it's going to help us feel our center of gravity coming up over our hands and get those hand muscles working for our balance. So there's something for everyone here, even if you don't get any lift off. So take your hands into your normal handstand position. We're going to bring our knees up and walk them onto the back of our triceps. So my knees are nice and bent here. From here, I'm going to bend at the elbow and try to take some weight forward into my fingertips, and then point my toes so they're getting nice and light. If I can lift one knee, and maybe I can lift the other knee. All right, so it's going to help us just feel out that balance in our hands. If you want to keep both feet on the ground, absolutely fine, but just try to lean that weight forward into your first knuckle, into the pads of your fingers. If you do lean forward, you'll find your toes get nice and light. All right, so guys, we'll try it, see how long you can hold it for. Maybe 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. I'll demo one more time if you want to do this with me. So from here, lift the hips. Now walk the feet in and get them as high as you can onto your triceps. So right on top there under your armpit. And then from here, just really gently lean forward. And as you lean, you'll feel those feet becoming light. And then you can lift them up if you want. Very nice, Susanna. Super, Sinead. So rather than jumping, I want you to lean more. Good, Susanna. Good. So if you can place those knees right onto the tricep. Good comfort. Keep leaning, Jack. You can bend the elbows. Come on, T. Lean, lean. Good, T. Don't be tempted to jump. Let the feet come up naturally. Keep leaning. Yes, T. Very nice. Get those knees a bit higher into your armpits if you can. Super, guys. Good, Jackie. Donald, did you get it? I just couldn't see. I'll try again. And this is one, guys, you can practice at home. Good work, T. And it'll be about finding the best place for your knees on your triceps. It's a little bit sore because it's quite bony. So we're going to take a rest from that one. We'll come back to it again. We're going back to our plank walk-ups for 30 seconds. So we're just going to cycle back through that little circuit again. So starting in your plank, guys, walking your toes up to your hands and back down again for 30 seconds, starting now. Lovely. Try and come up onto the balls of your feet, Jackie. So push up. Very nice, Susanna. Big shrug at the top. Good, T. Keep pushing through. This is a bit of a workout. 5 more seconds. You can get one more. Lovely, guys. And relax. You're going to lie down onto your front again. And we're going to do the reach and lift for 30 seconds. So that's straight arm lift off. I'll let everybody get ready. Going in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So comfort, make sure you're not using your upper back or arching, so you keep your forehead on the ground. So you're really just getting that minimal lift, making your shoulders do all the work. Good, T, and one at a time is fine as well. Very nice, guys. And rest for me. And I just want everyone to have one more attempt at that crow pose again. Then we'll be going up into our handstands after that. So I'll go through with you again if you want to come with me. So place your hands shoulder width apart. Lift your hips here as high as you can. The higher you lift your hips, the higher you're going to be able to get your knees in towards your armpits. So I'm even on the ball of my feet here, placing my knees onto the back of my arms. And then from here, guys, you can see I'm bending my elbow and I'm leaning forward with my head. And as I lean, I should be able to feel my toes become weightless and then maybe lift them up. So it's very important, the slower you go into this movement, it will happen naturally for you. So once you have the knees on the back of your arms, lean forward, keep leaning, and just feel those toes become lighter and lighter on the floor. Good, Susanna. Nice, Sinead. Good comfort. Okay, Jackie, let's see it, Donal. Let's go T. And again, your shoulder mobility shouldn't matter here because I am bending at the elbow. So no excuse on this one, T. I want you to practice it for next week. And something you can do, guys, if you feel more comfortable, putting a cushion maybe in front of your head, just in case you come down. Lovely, guys. All right, so I'm going to leave that one with you. That's one you can practice at home. And it's actually very easy to get very good at that one, to be able to hold it for 30 seconds, and it'll help your balance then in a handstand. All right, guys, so we're going to do a couple of kick ups to the wall. So I'm going to pop my, these are just single leg lift offs. And I want you to focus on keeping the core nice and tight here. I'm not looking for you to get all the way up to the wall, just a small lift off, maybe 2 to 3 inches from your first leg. Push this out of the way. So from here, I'm going to reach my hands into the wall and just a little kick and back down to stand again. So leaning in. And what I want you to think of, in the plank walk-ups that we just did, when you were walking up and pushing away, is the very same thing here. So as I reach in, I'm pushing into my shrug position, really creating strong shoulders, little kick off, and back down to stand. So I want you guys to try 10 of those. You don't actually need a wall for this one, but if you feel safer, but I don't want anyone going near the wall just yet. Good. So be mindful, guys. Are your elbows bending? Do you have a huge space between your ear and your arm? If that's the case, it's going to be very hard to get up to handstands. So you really want to shrug as much as you can. So 10 reps from everyone. That is super, Donal. Nice, Sinead. So your shoulders actually play just as much of a role in kicking up to handstand as your legs. If they're not active and prepared, it'll be very hard to get up to the wall. Nice. So Susanna, as you come in, I want you to think of reaching up. Nice. And the same, Sinead, big reach. Good. Sinead, if you can flow into that a little bit more, so rather than pausing from the floor, if you start here, you can come in and nice and low and just go straight into that kick. If you stop dead here, you lose quite a bit of momentum. So if you can use the momentum, there you go, lovely. Very nice, Donal. Good, guys. And that is the basic of your single leg kick up. If you get the basics of that right and keep practicing, eventually you'll come up to handstand. Lovely. Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Michelle, what class are you here for? Is it handstands? Sorry, you just muted yourself.
Sorry. The gymnastics, is it handstands, headstands? No?
It was, but it was at 10:30 today.
Oh, sorry. Okay, which one are you doing now?
So I'm doing the gymnastics now at 10:30, so we're just almost finished.
Ah, okay, sorry.
It's recording, so you can actually, I'll pop it up in a few minutes and you can do it.
Perfect. I'll leave you to it. So
Have you done Tuesday's one?
I haven't, no, but I did it during the first lockdown, the first one in the first lockdown.
What I recommend you, if you go back, Tuesdays is online and it's headstands.
Okay.
So if you want to jump back and do that now, and then you can do this one later.
Cool. Well, I might do it like, because I literally just have half an hour break between meetings now, so I might just go and do them this evening then instead.
Perfect.
You know
Okay,
how I
sorry
get on.
about that.
Thanks. Sorry for interrupting. Thanks,
fine.
Dave. Bye.
All right, guys, we have our last exercise coming up. So we're going to do some scissors kicks on the wall. I'm going to pop this here. This is going to be a wall walk up the wall. So I'm going to bring my chest to the wall, take one step up, walk as close as you feel comfortable. Again, big push away. And I'm going to take one leg off. So I have a nice handstand line, bring it back on the opposite leg. If that's easy, you can do a little switch out here. But just for beginners, just practice taking one leg off the wall at a time. And maybe give yourself, you can do 3 leg lifts on each side. If that's easy, you can do 5, or if that's too hard, you can do 2. All right. Nice, T. Lovely, Jackie. So point those toes, guys, if you can. Get the front of your foot on the wall. Super. And take that leg all the way until you feel you're in a nice straight line. Again, big shrug here through the shoulders. Make sure your hips are not falling into the wall. They should be stacked up over your shoulders. Lovely, guys. Come down and shake it off. And I want everyone to do that one more time. And if you have energy, you can try it 2 more times. I'm actually just going to show you guys a little positional thing here. So very quickly, sometimes I can see people's hips falling into the wall. So when they're here, they're in this position. So you can see that my hips are falling into the wall, and then I have a big arch in my back. So make sure that you lift those hips up. All right, so rather than having them here, lift them up, push away, and now you have a nice handstand line rather than that arch shape. So good core, guys. Lift those hips over the shoulders. Whew, what a workout. Very nice, Susanna. Good fix on that. And Jackie, super. That handstand line looks way better. Comfort, that looks good. I can't see your alignment, but it looks good. Lovely, Donal. So take that arch out of the lower back by lifting those hips up and over. Really nice work, guys. As you can see, that's quite taxing on the shoulders. Lovely stuff. Alrighty, guys, that's the end of our session today.